Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose rose stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets with glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of death with victory and peace? May the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause it is just, and these we are mine. In God is our trust, and the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let us pray. Lord, I pray as I race today, keep me safe along the way. Not only me, but others too, as they perform the jobs they do. I know, God, that in a race, I, the driver, must set the pace. But in this race of life, I pray, help me, Lord, along the way. Although I know I am a sinner, help me to believe that with God, you're always a winner. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and I am your host, David Wellborn, for the DRL Winter Series main event here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. We will be running 100 laps here tonight. We just had a really good race in our B split. John Mullins was the winner in that race. He did an awesome job, and we're looking forward to him trying to make a repeat here tonight in our main event. As of right now, James Laurelio is actually on the pole. I don't know if that's right or not. Let me see what's going on with some I'm really not sure what's going on with the ATVO here tonight. Oh Lord. Let me get everything set up real quick. And while I'm doing that, we will take a quick break so I can make sure everything is up and ready and running for tonight's event.
That's the sound of technological advancement happening with each passing second and making you and all you stand for obsolete. HDR, or High Dynamic Range, is the latest and greatest of those advancements, and in a nutshell, it improves the contrast between light and dark, giving you a more accurate reproduction of colour. The technical definition for HDR panels demands a 4K resolution and a contrast ratio of 1000 nits at peak brightness and just 0.05 nits at black level. In case you're wondering, 1 nit is roughly equivalent to the light one candle gives off. But if you'll forgive us the excellent pun, it's not quite as black and white as all that. In a game like Monolith's Middle-earth Shadow of War, it's the difference between seeing the developer's true vision of Tolkien's land and a diluted version of it. Take Mount Doom, for example, an icon of the geography and a perfect demonstration of the game's dramatic visuals. An HDR-capable gaming PC offers more contrast between the glowing lava and the charred rock. In this fight at Gorgoroth at the base of the mountain, Talion takes down some occupying orcs using Celebrimbor's bright blue wraith magic against a backdrop of billowing chimneys and lava lakes. HDR brings out the details in all these elements, producing brighter blues, making the explosions pop, and retaining the inky blacks of each shadow and dark cloud. It isn't only in extreme contrast situations that the benefits of an HDR gaming rig really shine through though. In this dark and gloomy interior, HDR is better able to articulate small differences in shades of a similar colour. So areas that might once have looked washed out in SDR appear atmospheric and immersive. So if you're wondering why HDR really matters in games, just remember Mount Doom and its lovely lava flow. From now until October 16th, when you buy select GeForce GTX 1080 Ti and GeForce GTX 1080 graphics cards, systems and laptops from a participating retailer, you can also bag a bundled copy of Middle-earth Shadow of War and enjoy the very best PC gaming experience.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I believe I have everything set up for tonight's event. I had to reload ATV, of course, but anyway, I believe we got everything set up as of right now. Just getting everything lined up. Okay, let's go ahead and get our rundown for the standings and main event standings and everything. Last week at Kentucky Motor Speedway, in our main event, Blake Griffith ended up winning the race. Eric Wolf was second. Brady Briggs was third. Brandon Dalton was fourth. And Chris James rounded out our top five. In our A split at Kentucky Motor Speedway, Eric Johnson was first. Eric Wolf was second. Ryan Hesgard third. David Wright fourth. And Blake Griffith was fifth. In our B split, J.R. Haggard was first. Casey Drake was second. John Mullins third. Eric Keplinger was fourth, and Alan Bowman rounded out our top five. Currently, our point standings for our main event is Brady Briggs is in first. James Pandolf has moved his way up into the second place by being consistent. Blake Griffith is third. Zachary Smith is fourth. And Bradley Freeman is our fifth position. In our A standings, Brady Briggs is first. Blake Griffith is second. Jordan Gonzalez is third. Daniel Hallis is fourth, and James Pandolf rounds out our top five. In our B split standings for the B split, let me get it out. Main standings, that's what I'm trying to say. B split main standings is C.R. Reed is first. Bradley Freeman is second. Zachary Smith is third. Brandon Red is fourth, and Yavis St. Ann rounds out our top five. So that's with our standings right now for points and how our races finished last week in Kentucky. Again, I did not take the time to figure out where we are running next week. I got tongue-tied. Let me take a quick swallow of drink. I do know that the last race is probably going to be Homestead. It says that James Larilio is first, Daniel Hallis is second, Robert Tyus is third, Spencer, I've lost my glasses. Spencer Tarts looks like he's fourth, and Mike Lemon rounds out our top five, as I've got to try to find my glasses that I just had. And there they are, laying in the floor, right where they should be. And looks like Mark Vega is turned out again here tonight. He's in 7th position. Ryan Hesgard is 8th. Bruce Pearson is 9th. Bradley Freeman is 10th. William Edwards is 11th. Dustin Muzzle is 12th or 13th. John Mullins is 14th. And it looks like we only have 19 drivers that are actually in the server as of right now. I figured we'd have a lot more than that. But then again, we do have 21 minutes to go, so these drivers are probably getting them something to drink, a quick snack, because it is going to be a long race here tonight for 100 laps at Texas Motor Speedway for the DRL main event. Winter Series main event, that is. I'm just kind of curious as to how this plays out, as right now, you know, James Pandolf, he's currently in the 2nd position in our main events point standings, and he's done that by being completely consistent. Just beats me how he's already moved up into 2nd in the points, and I don't remember just exactly how many points he's away from Brady Briggs. I don't believe he stands a chance at catching Brady Briggs for the championship. That is, unless Brady does not show up here tonight. And as of right now, I do not see Brady Briggs in the session, so James Pandolf may actually get a really good gain in the point standings if he has a really strong finish here tonight, at least being consistent. And it looks like the 2 car, or the 2 truck, just brushed up into the wall. That was Daniel Hallis. Really surprises me that James Larilio is sitting on our pole position, as he struggled in the Beast race to try to get around here at Texas Motor Speedway. And let me do a quick find out what's different and why he's so far up ahead. As of right now, the track temperature is 97 degrees, so that may have a lot to do with it, as we were running 102 degrees in our B split. Air temperature is 72 degrees, so it's a lot cooler as well. And I noticed that the speed of the wind is a lot further down, as it's only 8 miles an hour coming out of the north, when it was almost like 12.5 miles an hour in our B split. So yeah, it's quite a big difference between the B split race and our event here tonight as far as weather and track conditions are concerned. I just got news that Bradley Briggs broke his leg, so he will be unable to probably race these next 2 races, and that's really sad, because he is in the standings for both the A and the main event point standings. He is the leader, and that's a crying shame that he's ended up breaking his leg and is not going to be able to
most likely not be able to compete here in the next 2 races. So that would be 3 races that he'll be out. I'm pretty sure you can't heal a broken leg in 3 weeks, or at least in a week anyway. So, and we're riding around here with Clay Phillips, see how he does going around this Texas Motor Speedway, as he's currently 2nd riding around. But that was really nice of I didn't even pay no attention who sent that to me, but to let me know what was going on with Brady Briggs. I like watching Brady race. I like watching Bradley Freeman and Blake Griffith. Those are the 3 drivers I really have enjoyed in these main events, watching them get around these tracks. They are really good at what they do. You got to give your hats off to Eric Wolf and Anthony Burroughs as well. When they show up, you can guarantee that they're going to be in the top 5, if not top 3 when they run. Most of the time it's top 1, and it's usually a switch off between Eric and Anthony Burroughs. But with that said, we do have a really good race field here tonight. I see 16. We got 22 drivers as of right now, and Blake Griffith has finally showed up. So really sorry to hear about Brady Briggs breaking his leg. I hope he gets a fast recovery. We'll be praying for him anyway. I didn't figure out, or was not told, how he broke his leg. I don't think it's important on how he done it. It really sucks that he's not going to be able to finish these last 3 races, as he had a really strong points lead. I was looking forward to seeing him win the championship in either the A or the main, or both. But I mean, that opens up the door for James Pandolf, and it opens up the door for looks like Blake Griffin. So Blake and Jordan's got a shot at winning the A series, and it looks like James and Blake have a pretty good shot at the main event now. I'm really not sure what the difference, or the point standings distance is between Blake and James, and Blake and Jordan, but I don't believe that Blake Griffin's got such a, I don't believe he's got that much of a comfort zone for these last 3 races. But he is here tonight, so he will definitely be gaining on Brady Briggs here tonight. If I was Brady, I'd have let my wife drive the car and wouldn't let nobody know the difference. But that's just me. Daniel Hallis just informed me that he will most likely be out for a few of the Cup races that we will be running next season as well, as we do race starting February the 14th, and that will definitely be at least only 4 weeks, and I believe you're going to need at least 6 weeks for a broken leg. And then you got to worry about how much stress it's going to be putting on you to be sitting there for an hour and a half, 2 hour long events that we run. And I believe that all 3 of our series that we'll be running February the 18th on DRL TV. Now again, we will be moving to DRL TV. The ORN network is looking to sponsor, or is looking to broadcast other races, but we will be going to our own TV channel, the DRL TV channel, to broadcast our Cup series, our Xfinity series, and our Truck series starting February the 18th. And I believe those will be 50% races, so whatever a full race length is, we will be doing about half of that in our series. We are still looking for drivers. We're still looking for sponsors. So if you want to drive in these series, get in touch with James Pandolf. The link is below. And if you would like to sponsor one of the races or help sponsor one of the series, again, you can just get in touch with James down there. And if you're looking for someone to broadcast your races, well, my email's in the link down below as well. And we're going to roll up, and it's still, James has still got it by 8/100ths of a second. William Edwards has moved up into 3rd place. Daniel Hallis has dropped down to the 4th, and Robert Tyus is in our 5th position. I believe Garrett Mays, or Mans, yeah, we're going to say it's Mans. He is, I believe he's a new driver here tonight. Looks like he's driving for VRS, Virtual Racing School. I'm not sure if he's actually a member of the VRS team or not, but anyway, he's looks like he's a new driver here tonight. And we do now have 23 drivers in the event. Got 11 minutes to go, a little less than 12 minutes before we take off here for this event. And it might help to check and make sure that my mic is definitely on and working here tonight. And let me get everything again back up. Yeah, it looks like I'm still broadcasting. So I think I'm going to take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be right back.
Shh! Hear that? That's the sound of technological advancement happening with each passing second and making you and all you stand for obsolete. HDR, or High Dynamic Range, is the latest and greatest of those advancements, and in a nutshell, it improves the contrast between light and dark, giving you a more accurate reproduction of colour. The technical definition for HDR panels demands a 4K resolution and a contrast ratio of 1000 nits at peak brightness, and just 0.05 nits at black level. In case you're wondering, 1 nit is roughly equivalent to the light one candle gives off. But if you'll forgive us the excellent pun, it's not quite as black and white as all that. In a game like Monolith's Middle-earth Shadow of War, it's the difference between seeing the developer's true vision of Tolkien's land and a diluted version of it. Take Mount Doom, for example, an icon of the geography and a perfect demonstration of the game's dramatic visuals. An HDR-capable gaming PC offers more contrast between the glowing lava and the charred rock. In this fight at Gorgoroth at the base of the mountain, Talion takes down some occupying orcs using Celebrimbor's bright blue wraith magic against a backdrop of billowing chimneys and lava lakes. HDR brings out the details in all these elements, producing brighter blues, making the explosions pop, and retaining the inky blacks of each shadow and dark cloud. It isn't only in extreme contrast situations that the benefits of an HDR gaming rig really shine through though. In this dark and gloomy interior, HDR is better able to articulate small differences in shades of a similar colour. So areas that might once have looked washed out in SDR appear atmospheric and immersive. So if you're wondering why HDR really matters in games, just remember Mount Doom and its lovely lava flow. From now until October 16th, when you buy select GeForce GTX 1080 Ti and GeForce GTX 1080 graphics cards, systems and laptops from a participating retailer, you can also bag a bundled copy of Middle-earth Shadow of War and enjoy the very best PC gaming experience.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Been riding around here with Garrett just to see how he's able to handle himself on the track. He is currently 5th in the fastest man on the track is concerned. I believe he'll be getting him a new truck here in just a second, as he does have front end damage. But need to go ahead and get my sponsor in real quick. Oculus does sponsor this network, and if you want to really get inside of your games, get an Oculus Rift today, and be sure that you get you an NVIDIA video card to power that Oculus Rift. Get you a decent video card, 1070 or 1080 will do it. And if you really want to be a big dog, you can be like me and get two 1070s or two 1080s and SLI them together. I really love my 1070 cards that NVIDIA was provided to me. So with that said, get you an NVIDIA graphics card to power all of your gaming needs, and an Oculus Rift to get inside of those games that will allow for virtual racing or virtual reality. You get you an Oculus Rift and you start driving these trucks or cars or anything at iRacing. It is a difference between night and day. You will not believe the difference it makes by sitting in a virtual reality headset and going around your favorite track. It puts you right there in the driver's seat, and you can really see where you're at in the car. You don't have a fixed position. If you need to look ahead or to the right or to the left for any reason, it's there. I mean, it puts you in the car, and it has made me a better driver, especially in IndyCar. I really love how my driving has really improved in IndyCar racings and road course racing. Actually, it's really improved my road course racing a lot. And it looks like he's going to be struggling coming off of these corners about every 5 to 6 laps. So I hope he gets that straightened out and taken care of before race here in the next 6 minutes. He may be just trying to push his truck just a little too hard. As of right now, that's the man to beat on the track anyway. Let's see where my driver's at. And John Mullins is all the way back here in the 21st position with a time of 30.4. I hope he gets out there and does something a little better than that, or at least does a really good job in qualifying anyway. He don't want to be that far back and try to come back and win this race from way back there. Of course, now Taylor Allen, he was dead last in the B series split race, and he ended up actually finishing second, and with a late caution come out, allowed John Mullins to get back around him and take the win. But if that last caution hadn't come out, I believe Alan Bowman would have won our B race. He definitely had the truck in the B series for long hauls. And we got James going back out on track right now. These drivers try to get all the practice they can in before these races. And Jordan Gonzalez usually puts up a 4-hour practice session for these drivers so that they can get out and practice and get to feel the car and get to feel of driving around each other for these tracks that we run. I'm really not sure if he put one up this week or not, but anyway, even if we don't put them up, drivers really put a lot of time and effort to get around get these trucks around these tracks. You can't just come out here and say, okay, I'm gonna be big and bad and only get 5 laps to practice in and try to compete with these gentlemen. You do that, you're gonna be bouncing all over people and hitting the wall and everything. It takes a lot of practice to get around these tracks the way these drivers do. Practice makes perfect, and the more practice you have in it, the better you'll be. We got about 3.5 minutes to go before qualifying. Let's give a quick rundown real quick. James Larilio is still currently first. Clay Phillips is second. William Edwards is third. Daniel Hallis is fourth. Garrett Manns is fifth. Robert Tyus sixth. Ryan Hesgard 7th. Spencer Tarts, I believe he's a new driver as well. He's in 8th. Mike Lemon just moved in 10th, and Spencer moved to 9th, and Ryan moved back up to the 8th position. Blake jumped up into the 7th. So let's start back from 10th position, which is Mike Lemon. Mark Vega is 11th. James Pandolf is 12th. Zachary Smith is currently 13th. Bruce Pearson is 14th. Richard Springer 15th. Robert Lorandi is 16th. Chris James 17th. Bradley Freeman 18th. Casey Drake struggled in our last race. He is 19th. Yavis St. Anne 20th. Dustin Muzzle is 21st. John Mullins is still in the 22nd position. Bob Cunningham 23rd. 24th is Brandon Dalton, and right now the 25th driver is Tater Bowman, and it looks like Eric Johnson just joined the server. So we now have 26 drivers in the event. So it should be a pretty good race. I'm still really upset about Brady breaking his leg. I was really looking forward to watching him run these last 3 races. And it looks like Blake Griffin finally took over the first position. So he is now the man to beat with a 29.8. Clay Phillips has got a 29.82. So they're real close together. And it looks like the top 9 are running 29s. The first truck back is Spencer Tarts, and he's running the 32nd lap. Everybody else is down around 30 seconds as well. So if they keep this pace up, I don't imagine they will be able to keep it up very long, as this track is known to eat up tires. And if it's anything like the last race, the back end of these trucks was really getting loose on them. Especially after they got about 15 laps, you would see the back ends step out on them as the drivers was having to back out of the gas to keep them from breaking completely loose on them. So we got less than 20 seconds to go, and we'll get qualifying in. Oh, and we are going to try and eliminate the noise you hear in the background. I'm going to try to get that fixed sometime this week as well. I have a bit miner, and that sucker, it puts out a lot of heat and it makes a lot of noise. But we'll try to get that situated for us sometime next week, get that noise out of the background. As we are set to start qualifying here for the DRL Winter Series main event for 100 laps here at the Texas Motor Speedway, and it says Monster Energy Cup. I don't know what went on with that. As we are riding around with James Larilio right now, as he goes to complete his warm-up lap. And it looks like he's going to have a pretty decent one. And he's riding more than the middle and apexing it pretty good as he comes across the start-finish line. moved James up into 5th position. Daniel Hallis is currently 1st. James Pandolf is 2nd. Brandon Dalton is 4th. Mike Lemon has just moved up into the 3rd position. And my man Blake Griffith just took over the lead as the fastest man on the track. Good old Robert Tyus, he's already made his 2 laps. He's done. He's currently in the 2nd position with that Harley Davidson Chevrolet pickup truck. James Larilio completed his 2nd lap, and that's moved him up into the 2nd position. We got just a little over 2 minutes to go, and still need 3 drivers to complete their first laps. Looks like a solid man, I drew a blank. Looks like a solid qualifying lap for Blake Griffith. And as of right now, our top 5 is Blake Griffith, James Larilio, Robert Tyus, Daniel Hallis, and Brandon Dalton. And John Mullins is currently in our 16th position, so he's going to have a ways to go to get back up into the winner circle if he's going to try to do 2 in a row here tonight. Just a little over a minute to go. I do believe all drivers have completed their laps, and they have, and we have just been advanced. So we're good to go. I'm sure they've explained all the rules and everything to everyone. So let's get our grid. First place is Blake Griffith. James Larilio is 2nd. Clay Phillips is 3rd. Robert Tyus is 4th. Daniel Hallis is 5th. Brandon Dalton is 6th. Garrett Mannies, or Mans, I'm hoping it's Mans, is 7th. Chris James is 8th. Mike Lemon 9th, Ryan Hesgard, nice start there for Ryan in 10th position. Bob Cunningham is 11th, William Edwards is 12th, Mark Vega 13th, Eric Johnson 14th, James Pandolf is 15th, Spencer Tart is 16th, John Mullins is 17th, Tater Bowman is 18th, and them two, they're going to have a battle to try to get back up in the front here tonight. Bruce Pearson is 19th, Dustin Mosel is 20th, Robert Larandy 21st, Bradley Freeman is 22nd, Casey Drake 23rd, Zachary Smith 24th, Yavis St. Ong is 25th, Richard Springer 26th, and that concludes our grid. And I will get us to the front of the race here in just a second. As we get ready to go racing. Now Blake starting on the pole, that's going to give him a good chance at coming back and winning the main and the A standings. He's got a really good shot now that Brady Briggs is going to be out for the next 3 to 5 races. And of course we only have 2 races to go after this one here at Texas Motor Speedway. I'm looking forward to this race here tonight. I hope you are as well. As these trucks get ready to go down the back stretch here. I can't wait to get this race on the road. Hope it's clean and green for 100 laps. Pace car ducks in. And Blake is away, and we do have a green flag, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hoping the 41 of James Larillo did not get black flagged on the outside there, as he was definitely in front of Blake Griffin before when that green flag fell. Clay Phillips has moved his way into the second position. And this is a mess back here. These trucks are trying to get single file. Got the 72s taking a real good hard look underneath the 85. That's Brendan Dalton. Oh, and we got a wreck already.
Caution is out.
And I'm really not sure who it was. Well, James definitely got some damage, so let's see what's going on here. Okay, it looks like the 57 caused that, so let's grab the 57 truck and see what Robert Tyus did. And of course, that's Robert in the Harley Davidson Chevrolet pickup truck. He gets into the wall and comes down. Ooh, he just split. He got split. Trucks are going everywhere, and the 36 just definitely had nowhere to go, and that's a crying shame. Now, I got to see that again, as I'm not really sure who did that split on him. Let's do a forward chase to find out. All right, there he hits the wall. He comes down. Oh, wow, that was so close. And of course, the 36, like I said, had nowhere to end. James just ran right into him as well. That's really unfortunate. And they do have one fast repair, and he will definitely be using it now. And let's get us live and see what's going on. I'm not sure anyone's going to come down pit road in the top 10. It looks like, I know James Pandolf went on pit road, and Robert Tyus and William Edwards, Tater Bowman for sure. All those drivers went down pit road. Just 4 laps into this event, and we have a yellow flag. Man, that was something right there. The way those two trucks split that driver, that was crazy. But Blake Griffith, Clay Phillips, James Larillo, Daniel Hallis, and Garrett Manns is our top 5. I can't get over how they split that truck like that. Robert Tyus come back on the track in front of everybody like that. I just, you know, people make mistakes, and getting into the outside wall like that, that's real hard to control your truck here at Texas Motor Speedway once that happens. you can get stuck on that wall, and when you try to pull away off of it, you usually break loose and do just exactly what happened right there with Mr. Tyus. And it looks like the pace lights are out on the pace car, and we should be going green this time. Pace car is in. Clay Phillips got him a head start. I hope he didn't get black flag there. That's twice we've seen that when we started this break. Blake Griffith got him a really good start. And we're going to jump back here with the 55 of this new driver, because he's all over the back door of James Larilio for the second position. And you can see there's a battle back here, 3 wide. And wondering why that truck has got damaged when he should have at least come in and got it repaired. But he's going backwards at any rate. And he gets all over the back door of the 41. And he's just not able to complete that pass. He gets a really good run going off into the turns. But it's like they're running the same line, and of course he has to back off. Jump back here. Ryan Hesgard is doing a really good job. And Chris James is up underneath the 33 of Eric Johnson. He is able to complete that pass. And we got Spencer Tart trying to get around Daniel Hallis in the 2 truck. I believe he's going to complete that pass as well. And the 36 of Bob Cunningham's the one that has that front end damage. Looked like the 75 might have got up into the wall. James Pandolf got into the side of him right there as they were 3 wide. And it's a mess back here in the back. Drivers are fighting for positions. Robert Tyus in the 57 is trying to get around the 75. And the 75 did brush the wall. You can see it right there as he come around. The whole side of that truck was messed up. Mike Lemon is now trying to get around him as well. James Pandolf goes around him. These drivers have finally got single file. And it looks to me like Bruce Pearson, they are 3 wide, and they are racing like nobody's business here on lap 10. These trucks are all over the place. Bruce Pearson is working on the 67. And I believe that's a lap truck. That's 57. That's Robert Tyus. They are 3 wide again. Wow, Pandolf is doing everything he can to stay off of these trucks, but they just keep putting him in a position and sticking him in the middle of these 3 wides as Bruce Pearson is going around Zach Smith now. And it looks like the 72 of Mike Lemon is going to try to do it as well. And the 75 is working around, that's William Edwards is trying his best to get around James Pandolf. Now, of course, this battle is back here in the back between 13th and 18th position. And let me get back up front, because the man that we were watching a few minutes ago, Garrett Manns, is actually took it up lead over away from Blake Griffith. And not bad for a rookie. He's doing a good job here tonight. Of course, now Blake may be letting him burn his tires off, as Clay Phillips has took a look inside of Blake Griffith here. So he's going to try to move up for that second position, and Ryan Hesgard is going to try to get around with him. And looks like Clay was able to complete that pass, and Ryan Hesgaard is going to try to do the same. And I believe he got him. Yeah, Blake just let him. I seen Blake hit the brakes just a little bit, let him go. As doing that, the 41 of James Larillo is going to try to do it. Don't believe he's going to be able to cut it. I believe Blake's going to get back in and hang on to that top 4 position. We are clean and green here on lap 15. As Clay Phillips and Garrett Mans is battling it out for first and second. Jump back here in the 10th. 13th. 36 just hit the apron and come right up in front of the 72 of Mike Lemon. Lemon got out of it. Now trucks are splitting him. That's Robert Cunningham in the 36. As James Pandolf is really working hard to get around him. And Mike Lemon is on the outside as Alan Bowman, or Tater Bowman, is trying to complete that pass. And I thought Tater was thinking about going 3 wide right there and splitting the 36 and the 74. But he thought better of it, and he'll get right in behind Mr. Pandolf. And this here is a battle for 13th through 18th. This seems to be the spot for the battle here tonight, as these trucks are battling it out back here. And Clay Phillips has taken over the lead in front of Garrett Mans, as the 72 does try to make that 3 wide. And it looks like Tater's got some rear end damage. I just noticed that as well. And the 72 is going to try to, Mike Lemon is trying to make that pass work on the outside. Just don't know if he's going to be able to do it. And nope, the 40 of Tater Bowman secures his spot back down on the bottom. And they're still battling it out though. Tater's doing everything he can to hang on to the position, and Mike Lemon's doing everything he can to make that pass. And he has actually made that pass work. We'll come back up front. As like I said, Clay Phillips has taken over the first spot position. Garrett Mans is second. Blake Griffith is third. Eric Johnson, don't talk much about him. He's in the 4th position as he's getting ready to battle out between him and Ryan Hesgaard and James Larillo. We'll hold off right here and ride around with Ryan Hesgaard for a few seconds and see how this works out for him. Ryan's been on a roll here in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Man, caution is
We
out.
do have a
Caution
yellow
is out.
flag. And it looks like it was the 75 of William Edwards. Let's see what happens. And the 14 gets turned by the 75, and the 16 runs all into the back end of the 75. And the 16 was Richard Springer. Let's see if we can't we'll get a better look at that. And there's 75 as he's down. Now it looks to me like the 14 just come down on top of him. Of course, Richard Springer had nowhere to go, and that's just a bad evening for William Edwards. Not a fault of his own. That's a crying shame. Try to get up here as these drive. Oh, look at that. The 55 hits Clay Phillips in the rear end just as he's going down pit road. Yeah, he did damage to his, but it didn't seem to hurt Mr. Phillips at all. And Blake Griffiths is down. Looks like, the 41 had to back up. James Laurelio overshot his pit stop. And who's going to get the race off of pit road? 55's down and away, the 7's down and away, the 6, the 33. 33, I think, just barely missed getting into the third position. Race off of pit road. I believe is actually going to be Blake Griffith. And Garrett was second. Eric Johnson did make the third. Clay Phillips got out fourth, and Chris James rounds out our top 5. I want to take a quick look at the 55 truck. And let's do he did not seem to repair his truck completely, as he does still have some damage to the front end of his truck. I believe that was a mistake. We are just 25 laps in, or getting ready to have 25 laps in on a 100-lap race. I believe I had to spend a little extra time to get that truck fixed. I would not have used a fast repair, but the one and only one I have. But I'd have definitely sat on pit road for a good 4 or 5 seconds to see if I couldn't get it all taken care of. Now, I think it's been a pretty exciting race so far. I don't know about y'all. I'm happy that maybe I might have fixed the bouncing around, knock on wood. Don't want to jinx myself, but everything looks good so far. And the lights are out on the pace cars, so we will be going green next time by. And Yavis St. Hong had to slam on brakes. I believe he just got a black flag for entering. Well, he'll have to go to the end of the longest line for exiting a closed pit. And that's kind of sad for Yavis. I like him, but he is currently 2 laps down, or 3 laps down. Yeah, 2 laps down. It's not a bad race here tonight. It's a lot cooler than the B race that we had, and a lot less wind. Pace car's getting ready to duck off. And he does. And Blake's away. Green flag is out. And Garrett tucks right in behind him. As 15 of Chris James is looking to get up underneath Clay Phillips. And we got a battle back here with Ryan Hesgard, James Pandolf, and Ryan Hesgard and Spencer Tarts. Robert Tice is getting passed by Chris James. And it looks like Daniel Hallis was able to get around Clay Phillips. And he does complete that pass as well. And looks like Chris James is going backwards as I believe he had some contact. Yeah, he's definitely off the pace. It's fell all the way back to the 23rd position. And Garrett was able to get around Blake. So the rookie decides that he's going to stay up front and try to lead these gentlemen around here and show them how to get it done. And it looks like everybody's got single file. And just as I said that, there seems to be a battle here between Bradley Freeman and James Pandolf. And James gives him plenty of room, and the 71 was thinking about making that thing 3 wide. 71 is, of course, Dustin Muzzle from Mosul. And Bradley Freeman was able to complete that pass on James. And it looks like Tater is looking underneath John Mullins. And the 5 of Zachary Smith is taking a look on the inside of Dustin. And the 5 is going backwards. And that's definitely 2 different lines between Tater and John. One's running really high, one's running really low. Looks like John likes it up on the high side. He's able to roll through the turns a lot better as he's getting ready to try to complete this pass on Zachary Smith. And looks like he's got that pass clean. And it looks like Tater was thinking about going on the outside of Zachary Smith to try to complete a pass as well. And he is now following in the tracks of John Mullins to try to complete that pass. He's just not able to make it work. Zachary is battling it out on the bottom side, and he's going to hang on to it. Got Richard Springer. He's trying to take a look at Tater Bowman now. These drivers get lined up. We'll jump back up front and see what's going on. And it looks like Garrett's got him a pretty comfortable lead of over 7/10 of a second. Looks like Spencer is getting passed by Bruce Pearson. Bruce is on the bottom and Spencer Tart is on the top. And it looks like Bruce Pearson was able to complete that pass. And it looks like Brandon Dalton is working his battle out with Mike Lemon. As Mike Lemon gets up underneath him. And he's able to complete that pass on Brandon Dalton. We got battles going on everywhere. Well, if everything goes to plan, Yavis will probably get back on the lead lap here. He is the only truck that is a lap down. And it looks like we got 3 trucks that have decided to call it quits. That'd be Dustin Muzzle, Mark Vega, and Casey Drake. It looks like there's going to be a quick battle here between Clay Phillips and Eric Johnson. Of course, this is Blake Griffith, Clay Phillips, and Eric Johnson battling it out for a second, third, and fourth. You got James Larillo in the 41 as he's trying to get to the back door of Robert Tyus. They are 16 laps on this stint, and about another 20 laps I imagine we'll have pit stops. And James Pandolf is taking a look up underneath Spencer and makes that pass easily. John Mullins is going to try to do the same. 28 cuts him off. Let's watch this battle here real quick. Oh, don't do that. Oh, he got all in the back end. Spencer Tart got in the back of James Pandolf. How he was able to hang on to it, I have no idea. Spencer's doing everything he can to hang on to 15th or 16th position, as he's now battling it out between James and John Mullis. And it looks like John says to heck with this. He's gonna back out of it and let Tater battle with Spencer. Save his tires. Yeah, John backed out of it quite a bit there. Blake Griffith has got around Garrett, and it looks like Clay Phillips is trying to do the same. Eric Johnson, he's in this mix as well. Hadn't talked much about him. I believe he's a newcomer to this league. Maybe his second or third race. Blake Griffin seemed to pulled out. Oh, I don't know if he made contact with him there or not, but the 6 truck did get kind of squirrely. And Eric Johnson is trying to get around the 55 of Garrett. And he's able to complete that pass as well. So from 1st to 5th for Garrett. And the 71, that is Dustin Muzzle. He is back on the track. We scroll through the field here. Looks like Richard Springer's all over the back door, John. Tater seems to have the long haul truck again. This is a real good close battle right up here for second, third, and fourth. Ooh, I like that Budweiser truck. That's sharp. These drivers are 26 laps on their tires. In another 10 laps, we'll be looking for green flag stops. I don't want to jinx it, but I'd like to see a green flag race. At least green flag pit stops anyway. Get these drivers separated. '71 does make that pass, but I believe he is a lap down. And he's 5 laps down. And he's going to try to make that move on the high side around Clay Phillips, as he's definitely got fresher tires. Trying to get one of his laps back the hard way. And he does. He gets his lap back the hard way. We got James Pandolf working on the 14 of Bradley Freeman and the 85 of Brandon Dalton. James did complete that pass on Mr. Freeman. And this right here is how come Mr. Pandolf is currently second in our point standings, as he's just consistent as he makes his move to get around Brandon Dalton, and I think he's going to be able to do it. Of course, now Brandon's battling it out. He's trying to hang on to that spot. He don't want to give it up. James was not able to complete that pass. James pulls out once again. It's like Brandon Dalton gets that roll off, and James Pandolf just can't quite make that move. He's going to duck up underneath him again. And I believe he may actually get him this time. The 85 just got such a strong truck coming off. And of course that's Brandon Dalton that I'm speaking about. James Pandolf finally does complete that pass. As we're back up front. As we roll around looking for the battle. Everybody seems to be nose to tail right now. Not too much racing going on. Wow, James Larilio is in 5th place all by himself. The difference between the packs. We get back up front as we watch Blake Griffith lead the field. Clay Phillips is on the back door of him. I believe a pass may be coming here soon. These drivers now have 35 laps on their tires. I imagine the next few laps these drivers will be coming in for green flag pit stops. And Clay Phillips gets into the outside wall. I didn't see anybody come down pit road. So it looks like ATVO has once again messed up on me. It is now said that everybody has come in for pit stops. I don't believe it. And Clay Phillips has put the move. And now we got drivers coming in. .40 laps to go in this race, as drivers are now coming in and getting pits, tires and fuel. Let's see how long Blake stays out. I don't imagine he'll be staying out too much longer. Says he's going to stay out another lap. And Garrett is hauling, but I hope he got that truck slowed down there.
All right, man, caution is out.
And of course, Blake looks up and the yellow flag is out. I'm not sure where the yellow's at. I do not know what brought that yellow out. And don't look like I'm going to get that replay to you. Oh, 15 is smoking. I'm going to find it if it kills me. I have no idea who it was. I saw a truck smoking, but I was unable to figure out where he was at. Yep, there goes the 15. That is Chris James. So let's do an instant replay and see what's going on. It's not going to let me do it. Wow. All that work for nothing. But apparently Chris James is the one that brought out that yellow flag, I believe. I don't know. He's definitely had a blown engine or smoking. That's why I hope I get a co-broadcaster for the series that I'll be broadcasting next, here coming up in February. It'd make it it would be a lot easier if I had somebody else looking around the track to find battles and wrecks and stuff, to at least call them out and let me go back and see if I can't grab them. As of currently, Blake Griffith is first. Ryan Hesgard has moved his way up into second position. James Pandolf is third. Bradley Freeman is fourth. Mike Lemon has moved his way up into the fifth position. Brandon Dalton sixth. Richard Springer seventh. Alan Bowman, or Tater Bowman, is eighth. William Edwards ninth, and Robert Larandy rounds out our top 10. And I believe Daniel Hallis is looking to get one of his 5 laps back. And there he goes.
Alright, man. Light you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
It looks like they're not going green for some reason. Don't look like everybody's situated just yet. And Clay Phillips he may have been involved in that wreck somehow, because he's all the way back in 15th position and he just got a wave around. I'm really not sure what's going on with that, but he definitely just got a wave around, and he is all the way back in 15th position. Sorry about that. Bradley Freeman has moved his way up into 4th. James Pandolf moved his way up into 3rd. This is how you do it. The lights are out on the pace car, so we should be going green next time by. Now again, if you want to sponsor these cert leagues with the series or just an event, get in touch with James Pandolf. He'll be more than happy to work out something for you. And if you want to drive in this series, up and coming series, do the same. Pace car's in.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag's out. Blake Griffith is away. James Pandolf's taking a look on the inside of Ryan Hesgard. 72 is taking a look on the inside of Bradley Freeman. 85 of Brandon Dalton makes that move as well around Bradley Freeman. And it looks like there's some 3 wide going on back here. Wow, these trucks are everywhere. John Mullins is trying to get around Tater. And he completes that pass. That is a pass for the 10th position. And the 33 and the 3 and the 36 are going to make it 3 wide. Clay Phillips is going to make it 3 wide. Oh, the 36 gets into the wall. That's Bob Cunningham. I believe everybody's going to bounce around and make it through there. No yellow flag come out. And Yavis is going to have to come into the pits, it looks like. Ryan Hisgard is doing everything he can to get to the back door. Blake Griffith. We ain't talking much about Mike Lemon, but he's sitting there in 3rd position. And looks like John Mullins is trying to get around Bradley Freeman. And I believe he's going to do it, and he's going to work on the 75 of William Edwards as well. And he completes that pass. So move John up into the 8th position. Let's battle back here with Tater and Robert Lorandi, and Clay Phillips and Eric Johnson. This is a battle between 11th and 13th. 28 just brought his nose into it. Lorandi's trying everything he can to get around Tater on the bottom. Clay Phillips is doing all he can to get around Eric Johnson. As we just seen somebody come down pit road, I believe that was Yavis Sankong. Randy has pulled out in front of Tater. Clay Phillips is trying to get around him. The 41 is coming back out on the track. '33 is working on Tater as well. And he completes that pass. And that's my dumb dog barking at the wind. Get back up front and see how things are going up front. 25 laps to go. Blake Griffith is in the lead. Ryan Hisgard is doing everything he can to get to him. 36 is down low again on the track. He's just had a rough night. John Mullins is trying to get around the 75 of William Edwards again. Edwards battling back on the high side. He's unable to complete that pass. Ryan Hisgard has moved his way into the 1st position. We missed that. 85 was looking to try to get around Blake Griffith as well. Give your hats off to Ryan Hisgard at lap 77. He takes over the lead. Now we've only had 3 yellow flags for 11 laps and 6 lead changes. And Garrett has actually moved his way back up into the 4th position. Brandon Dalton's, he's sitting there comfortably in the 3rd position. These drivers only have 15 laps on their tires, so I believe nobody be coming in will be green to the end as long as we don't have a yellow. And I know right now Ryan Hesgard is screaming, no yellow, no yellow. With 20 laps to go. Check back with John Mullins as he's now moved his way back up into the 8th position. And he's looking to get past James Pandolf right now. Let's see if he swings up underneath him here. And he sticks his nose under him. James gives him plenty of room. James is just able to power through on the high side. John, don't give it up. But these two are two clean drivers. You see right there how John was going to give James Pandolf just as much room as he needed. And that's what I like about being in this league. We're gentlemen racers. We do try to give each other room. We do take a fault when it's our fault. And Bradley Freeman is working on the 75, and he does. Ooh, the 41 almost gets in the back end of Bradley. And now they are 3 wide racing. And I think Richard Springer or Clay Phillips was going to think about trying to make it 4 wide right there. Wow, they are really racing hard back here for the 8th through 14th. I believe that 41 truck is James Laurelio, and he is 3 laps down. So the battle is between Clay Phillips and Bradley Freeman. And James Pandolf is going back around John Mullins. He did take over that spot, but now he's having to work with the lap truck of James Laurelio. So move James back to 8th and James Pandolf to 7th and John back to 8th. Now that lap truck has got fresher tires. And Blake Griffith took back over the lead somewhere as we were watching that battle back here. 15 laps to go. This has been a real exciting race. Clay Phillips is back here. Ooh, what? Oh Lord, that was almost a wreck right there. 20-33 and James Pandolf. Clay Phillips is trying to get around James. And Clay almost gets around him. James is battling back on the high side. And pushes just a little too much. So give that position up to Clay Phillips. John Mullins is looking all over the back door of Eric Johnson. Of course, Clay Phillips, as I say that, is looking to get up underneath John Mullins. And Clay Phillips is on the move. And he completes that pass on John Mullins to move Clay Phillips back up into the 8th position. Not much has changed up front. Blake Griffith's got a little bit of breathing room. As we ride around with Richard Springer. This is a pretty good race. Got 10 laps to go. Blake Griffin's doing everything he can to hang on to this lead position. He's pulled away just a little bit on Ryan Hesgard. And it looks like Garrick's caught the back end of Brandon Dalton, so we may be having a battle here between 3rd and 4th. And it looked like the 71 was coming down pit road for something. I figured that Garrett may be trying to complete that pass, but it doesn't look like he's going to get to him. And the 71 is coming back out on pit road. The 33 is getting around Richard Springer, who just got into the wall. 72 is going to go around him as well. And he did a little damage to the front end of that 16 truck. A lot of right side damage. And Clay Phillips is looking to try to get around him as well. And he goes up underneath him. Clay Phillips takes over that position. So move Clay up to 7th. Now the battle's gotten really tight up here for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We got Brandon Dalton in the 85 and Garrett Mans in the 55 and Ryan Hesgard in the 29. With 5 laps to go, I believe this is going to be the battle to watch. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Garrett looked like he almost got his truck on the outside of that 85 and was going to try to take him on the high side. He's real close. And he gets up underneath him. Oh, he makes contact with the 85. And 85 hangs on to it. He's in the wall. Oh, and the 41, James Murillo, catches him and brings out the yellow flag with 5 to go. Unfortunate. I'm hoping we get a green-white checker, but I don't believe that's going to happen. Actually, it may actually happen. We'll get a replay of that while we can. The 85 is here battling it out with the 55. And right here he makes just a little bit of contact, and then he ducks up underneath him and he catches that quarter panel right there. And It's everything that 85 can do. He almost keeps it out of the wall, and he just has no control of the vehicle. Of course, when he hit 41, he straightened the vehicle out and was able to keep going. But that was at a cost to the 41, of course, who blew his motor due to that contact. And we got 3 laps to go. And I believe we should be live now with 3 laps to go. Blake Griffith is our leader. Ryan Hesgard is second. Garrett Manns is third. Brandon Dalton fourth. And Eric Johnson rounds out our top 5. Don't believe we're going to get a green-white checker, but we may. And I'm happy to see that we had no issues with trucks jumping around here tonight. Seems to be a pretty good and pretty decent broadcast. I will at least look forward to getting up in the morning and watching it all over by myself. I do that. Go back and watch the races that I've broadcast to see how the quality and sound is working. That's what I do every Wednesday morning. And then when I get done with that, I might be doing some American Trucking Simulator. I seen Martin Wenzel had that on his YouTube page. And my dad's a truck driver. I rode with him several times in the 18-wheeler. If you're out there and you drive trucks for a living, you got a job, brother. I'll tell you, you got a job. I've been doing the simulation, and believe it or not, you got idiots in the game as well, stopping for no reason, cutting you off. So anybody that drives an 18-wheeler or a truck for a living, my hat's off to you. You do an awesome job at providing us with the things that we consume here on a regular basis here in the United States. So again, my hat's off to you for making them roads work for you and getting a paycheck, making sure everybody's got what they need at Walmart or wherever, Food Line, car parts stores, or FedEx. And I just see we have 2 to go. And this is the final lap, so we are going to finish just like this. No green white checker tonight. I believe Blake Griffith, he don't care. He got him a win out of it. Way to go, Blake. You did an awesome job. Gonna get him a little rub there by Ryan Hesgard. Nice clean sportsmanship. And we'll let him burn it down and we'll get to these interviews. Again, Blake Griffith is our winner. Ryan Hesgard is second. Garrett Manns, I believe, is third. And Brandon Dalton, fourth. Eric Johnson rounds out our top 5. Burn it down, Blake. Burn it down. He's tearing that tires up. Don't know if that's actually going to move him into the points lead this week, but definitely next week he should. If he has a decent finish, he should be moving up into the points lead. Hey Blake, you got a copy?
Yeah, man, how's it going?
Well, you got you a win tonight.
Yeah, man, it was a fun race. It was a really fun race. Battling the tires and battling those guys up front, man, it was a really fun race. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard, but Brady Briggs has broke his leg. He will not be competing in the next 3 races.
Yeah, I heard he broke or dislocated or something, so, man, thoughts and prayers with him. Hope he has a quick recovery. And Brady, if you're listening, we'll be thinking about you, man. Hope you get better quick.
Yeah, I believe you're gonna be working at just getting a little bit closer to the championship now that he's gonna be out for the next 3 races.
Man, that would be awesome. I mean, that would be awesome. Brady's just so consistent. I mean, I had 2 wins, and he was with no wins, and he was still like 70 points ahead of me or something like that. So Brady's super consistent, and again, I hope he gets better soon, gets back to racing with us.
Well, you did an awesome job out here tonight. You got anybody you want to give some quick shout outs to?
Yeah, as always, appreciate James for putting on this league, Ryan Branch, Tater, Martin Wenzel, all the guys that make this possible to run. All these guys that I ran with, great racing, everybody up front, and most of all, huge thanks to my team, CCR. Gary Sexton, he's done an awesome job putting a team together and taught me a ton, so really appreciate those guys, and man, I appreciate you doing the broadcast.
Well, we do it because we love to do it. Anyway, you go enjoy your victory, get you a beer or something, celebrate.
Heck yeah, man, I appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too, brother. Okay, let's see if we can't get one in with Ryan Hesgard. As he finished second, I will see if I can't quickly find him. And of course, I got a phone ringing that I don't even answer. So I quickly hang up. I don't want to sit there and listen to that. It may be my neighbor. They're old, and I'll check real quick after I get done with doing this, just to see if it's not them or not. Because they called me up the other night and I had to go get a chair brought into the house for them. Like I said, my neighbors are real old. Ryan Hesgard, you got a copy, brother?
10-4, buddy. Go ahead.
Well, you got you a good win tonight, good second place finish.
Yeah, hard fought, dude. Beginning of the race, I seen Garrett join, and I'm like, well, this is over. So I've raced in the past with Garrett. He's very, very good. Once he figures these trucks out, he's going to be the guy to beat in DRL. I'll say that first. So, second place is a big accomplishment for me tonight.
All right, hang on just a second. Had to close the door. Yeah, I'm back. I'm still here. Dogs are racing Kane for some reason. Well, you got you a second place finish. You did a real awesome job here tonight. You got anybody you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, I got to shout out the S2R race team. We threw up a Texas practice late last week, and it was the exact same weather conditions and track temp and everything like that. So we got a lot of practice on it. I don't know, 200 laps or so. So that helped out tremendously. I gotta thank Blake for racing me clean there. I got in the wall, and I thought I was gonna get ran over, but he kept it off me, which kudos to him.
Well,
I gotta thank you first of all for doing the things you do for DRL. I gotta thank Ryan Branch for running this whole deal. Tater, James, Martin, the whole DRL crew. There's a lot of people just to mention. And you know, you just got to thank the guys that put on a good show for everybody.
yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you, and we'll get up with you next week.
Thanks, sir. Have a good one.
You too. Now, I do have someone banging on my front door.
They need your help.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to call it quits tonight. Emergency is up, but thank you for being a part of this. And good night. I'm sorry, I got to go.